Okay, here we go. Just waiting for some data. And we're alive. Good evening or good afternoon to the Americans. Welcome to the live stream. I'm just gonna wait a little bit until, some people arrive. Hi. If you want to say something, you can put it in the chat. And I'm trying my new equipment today. I have a ring light here. Ooh, can you see it in my glasses? Like that. So yeah, I bought a ring light. It was actually not super expensive. I was really surprised, and it looks kind of good, and it makes my face be bright. Anyway, topic of today's live stream is whether or not extreme minimalism is sustainable. And by sustainable, I don't mean environmentally sustainable. I mean sustainable in the way that you can sustain it for a long period of time, because I actually don't see a lot of evidence that you can. Speaking of YouTube minimalists, they all kind of retract from extreme minimalism after a bunch of years, maybe, I don't know. But also this video is kind of an excuse video. I wanted to do a different video, but I couldn't because I got a copyright strike. I wanted to upload a really cool video from a minimalist family, but it is owned by a shitty private German broadcast. Yeah, I don't know. Screw television. I don't have a TV. I haven't had a TV in 20 years. So, and there's this, I don't know, you have the right to cite something. So let's see if I can maybe embed it. And, if I produce enough of my own content, maybe I can embed it. But right now I couldn't. So we're doing this video instead. And so anyway, hello. I'm just going to read the chat. Well, that's cool. It's good for you that you were able to join the chat. That's nice. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, any questions, anything, just put it in the chat box. I will react to it. I have this on average latency, so it can take a while until I see your questions or something like that. So yeah, just so if I don't react right away, it means that I just have a little delay. Okay, so about the topic, let's make this a little story time, because if you know my channel, you know that I was an extreme minimalist for quite a while. I mean, a bunch of years. And so I started out as a sort of extreme minimalist when I was pretty young, 18, 17 years old. And then after that, I moved out from my mother's apartment. I moved into my first own apartment, and then into my second apartment, and I had barely anything, and that was all right with me. By the way, let me know if you like the light. So I really didn't have much stuff, and I kind of just liked the emptiness. And whenever I put something in my apartment, I felt like, oh no, now I'm ruining it. I don't want anything. But then on the other hand, I was also a practical thinker, and I was like, yeah, but can you really live without a fridge forever? And I mean, at some point, I just didn't want a fridge. Didn't have one. And then a friend of the family just brought me one, and I was like, okay, cool, thanks. I guess. I mean, I couldn't give it back. It was an expensive present, and so I started using a fridge. I've also always been pretty frugal, so I really didn't want to waste any money on electricity, like I just felt like it was such a total waste of money to put even $5 into that each month. And I felt like, I can have food instead of that. Why would I buy food that I have to put in the refrigerator to then pay for refrigerating, that food, instead of having space and other food that I also like? It just seemed completely ridiculous to me. And I also didn't have a washing machine, didn't have warm water. I mean, I had warm water, but I turned it off. And so I didn't have warm water for, yeah, I would say several years. And then I met a guy, and he was like, "Yeah, don't you ever shower warm?" And I was like, "No, I have to get up at between 4 and 5 a.m. and then go to the clinic, and I really have to be wide awake, and I really don't want to mess with that. And the only thing that really helps me get up in the morning is to just have a cold shower. So I would have an ice cold shower no matter the season every morning back when I was like working in the clinic. And yeah, that I did that for half a decade. So you can imagine how long I did that. Do you like cold showers, guys? Like, if you like cold showers, you can like this video. Um, no, really. Tell me if you like cold showers. I want to know. Um, anyway, then I think I'm messing up the timeline though here. I wanted to get into YouTubers, like Yuham Son and other, YouTubers that talk about extreme minimalism. I think there are a bunch of them. Not everyone labels themselves as an extreme minimalist, which is very dumb because it gives you a whole lot more clicks. So if you're watching, if you're an extreme minimalist YouTuber, you want more clicks, well, then just put extreme minimalism in every video, no matter what it is about. Because I mean, it's your perspective as an extreme minimalist, so you might as well put it on your toilet paper, right? So yeah, and I saw a bunch of videos lately from other minimalists on YouTube, and they were all kind of, at some point they all stopped being extreme. And I think it comes with either age or wisdom or both, that at some point you're just done with it, You kind of think like, yeah, but I want to have all this stuff now again. And for me, it's kind of the opposite. I wish I was able to do extreme minimalism again, because, yeah, I just don't like having all this stuff. I mean, it's not a lot. It's just like this closet, and yeah, but I still sometimes think, do I really need hiking boots? Could I not just hike in sandals? And then I know, it's stupid. Of course I can't. It's just stupid. But they're in the way, and stuff is always in the way. And so cold showers are fine, but I usually shower lukewarm and then finish with a round of cold. That's what he said. So yeah, great. That's good. That's good. You do that. How I started, I think. Is it though? No, not really. Before I actually worked in a clinic as a nurse, I was doing some sort of internship, and that was when I started to cold shower, because I wanted to be some sort of stupid badass. I don't know. I was also really into anatomy, and I would learn anatomy all the time and study cards and learn about. I read a whole book about cancer at that time. I was really into cancer research. And so I would read all this stuff, to be a little fucking know-it-all in the clinic, which didn't help me though. And I kind of started, I had a 20 minutes bike ride to the clinic, which was, once through our small town, like diametral way through the town, from one side to the other. And before that, I really had to get, like, I don't know, pumped up or something, and I just had to do something drastic in order to get my nervous system up and running, I guess, in the morning. I'm definitely not a morning person. I just hate getting up early. I'm a night hawk. Are there any night hawks here? Like, if you're a night hawk and you're watching this by now, post a night animal emoji in the comments, please. Like, I started this thing right now. I stole that from Color Floating. The guy with the cabin, and the cute dogs and a lot of wood. This guy um, from Sweden, everything good comes from Sweden. So he always has his followers post some tree or something in the comment section, and I was like, okay, well, trees don't quite fit the theme of my channel yet. Wait for the cabin porn. It's coming, my friends. It's coming soon. Um, but I kind of thought this is a cool idea, and then when the folks, when you all watch this live stream later, maybe, I hope so, then you can actually just post any emoji, just any, a bat or something, or an owl. I don't even know if these kind of emojis exist. By the way, if you want really cool emojis, I have three different butt emojis: a neutral one, a sad and a happy one, a mustard yellow t-shirt because that's my favorite color, and a capsule wardrobe emoji. Do you know any channel that has a capsule wardrobe emoji? And for just $1, they can be yours. But fucking shitty saleswoman. I'm sorry. I'm so pissed that my video got copyright strike and now I can't upload it just because it has like 5 minutes of fucking 7-1 in it. Fuck the fucking broadcast. Fuck it. Okay, anyway, where was I? Extreme minimalism and my first apartment, and I don't know. Yeah, working in a hospital. That was really annoying. I don't know. Don't be an intern in a hospital. Everybody is a dick to you. Like, not you, everybody else. People are horrible when you don't know shit. And they don't have the time to explain stuff to you. They don't like to explain stuff to you. I'm so happy that time is over. I think that really taught me an important lesson. The lesson to shut up whenever I don't want to be in trouble. And to not be around. And to always look like I'm working. Bonus tip here, if you want to look like you're hardcore working, just fast pace everywhere. It immediately makes everybody believe that you're busy, and that keeps them off your back. Yeah. So anyway, how long did I sustain my extreme minimalism? I actually have no idea. Let me think. Probably maybe 2 or 3 years. I don't know. It was on and off also. Like, I bought a lot of books because I got them at this like €1. Hey, hi, thanks for joining. I bought a lot of €1 books at this little bookshop. It was like a trailer behind the church in the city where I worked, and there you could buy these books. They were €1 each, which is like very cheap. And so I always wanted to have a lot of books. I didn't want to have anything else, but books were like really, yeah, they were my kryptonite. So I bought a bunch of books just to put them in my apartment, but I didn't want a bookshelf because, like, what kind of a minimalist wants a bookshelf? So I just started piling them somewhere. And I mean, those were really, really cheap books. I really only had them to kind of brag with the books that I read, like put them somewhere and then people can see that you have books and you'll be like, hey, look how intellectual I am. I read all these books, and the 3 of them are Sartre, so yeah. I really like Sartre though. And of course Kafka, what dumb teenager and 20-something doesn't like Kafka? That is like a must. Any Kafka fans here? No? Any Ben fans? You probably don't know who that is. You should Google it. It's like amazing literature. Not Kafka, Ben. I mean, Kafka's amazing too, but anyone else thought, like, through the whole, what is called die Verwandlung in English? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. The one where he turns into a bug, you know. Anyone else thought like, oh man, I just want him to go back to his human form so bad and be okay. Um, yeah. The same with the trial. I just wanted it to end well, and it's so heartbreaking. And I'm like, he's fucking my mind good. Like, I mean, I'm the kind of person I really go with the protagonist, and I really want to, I want the protagonist to succeed and not be miserable. But then there's this other analytical, intellectual side of me that knows that everything is going to shit, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just a stupid reader. So do I want to continue or do I not want to? Yeah, metamorphosis. That is it. That must be it. Thank you. Yeah, die Verwandlung. Exactly. And the process is probably the trial or something. That was also mindfuck of Sondersgleichen. Mm. Next time I need to bring a beer. But then I also don't want to be drunk or drinking on YouTube. There is always conflict. Conflict is good. You know, guys, conflict is growth. Anyway, so that minimalism thing, how long did I do it? And how did I do it? So my first apartment, I'm gonna do the draw along though. You know, you guys, I had you vote, and I was like, what video should I do? And a lot of you were saying like, oh, you should do a draw along, YouTube draw along of your first apartment, and yeah, let's do it. You know, mm, I can remember what it looked like, and it's fairly easy for me to draw like a 3D version of it, and maybe a blueprint sketch something. I also have an image of it on my Instagram if you want to take a look. I lived in so many apartments, but yeah, the first one is the deepest, I guess. And it was in this completely weird house. There was a pharmacy in the ground floor, and the pharmacist, he was kind of really weird. I don't know, maybe he was on something or he was just drunk or something, but I don't know, he was so weird. He opened some of my parcels. Like I got a package of something that I ordered, and he just opened it and thought like, I thought this was for me, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And then next to me there lived a bunch of junkies and a guy that would always call, I don't know, somebody he didn't like on the phone, in his bathroom. And his bathroom was adjacent to my bathroom, and it was super loud and super fucking annoying. And then one day I just had it with him. I wanted to sleep. I had a long shift, so I knocked on the wall and be like, hey, shut up. And he just knocked back and said shut up to me. And I was like, fuck this place. And then I moved. Yeah, that was pretty idiotic. Um, but I had some fun in that apartment though, you know. And it was so close to the clinic. Like, I don't know what it is with people. They always say like, oh, don't live close to your workplace. You're gonna meet people from work all the time. Well, first of all, I got headphones and sunglasses, and second of all, when I, go and do private stuff in my time off, well, I'm not gonna go in the direction of the clinic. I'm gonna leave my apartment, go towards the city. So I really never had that issue. Like the bigger issue was definitely to be farther away from work, because that meant more time to get there. I hate commuting. I did a lot of commuting in my life though. Yeah, anyway, do I think you can sustain it? And do I think it's a bad thing if you don't? Mm, I'm not really sure. I think the ultimate freedom is if you have almost nothing. I really do. I think it is not some sort of enlightenment. I really definitely hate that whole guru vibe and guru shit, and that is just something I'm not into. But in general, I would say the less you have, the happier you are. That's just how it works. Like, that is observed in a lot of research, in my opinion, as well, or at least strongly indicated by the data that we have already. And we see that the more people own, the less happy they are. And even with money, with money it is similar. The more you have at some point, you get happier, but then it just levels off and it stops being helpful. Because when you have enough money to, pay for the roof over your head and a nice vacation, then you realize it's all shit if you don't have a nice, I don't know, family or friends or, that kind of thing. And it's all worthless without money. But, if you don't have enough money and you have a great family, it still will never be the same as if you were wealthy. Like, it'll still be better. So, yeah. I think that's some depressing shit. But anyway, what did I do after my extreme minimalist phase? I think at some point I was really, 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 really frugal. And that is why I accumulated a lot of stuff. Because I was afraid of losing money. I didn't have a lot of money as a student, and I was working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and in the end just one job next to studying. Because in the end I had a well-paying job. But before that I was doing all sorts of crap, like copywriting, writing text for various idiotic websites and that kind of stuff. I once wrote an article about tea. Yeah, the stuff that you put in, where you pour water over and then it tastes great. That shit. Yeah. Like, I just wrote a text about fucking tea. And but it was paid okay, I guess. And I was tutoring people, doing a lecture in the university. In the end, that was really well paid. That was a nice job. But other than that, I was just going through this phase where I didn't have a lot of money, and I never knew how much money can I accumulate, will it be enough, for the next half year, so I better be frugal. And that was when I bought a lot of cheap stuff. It didn't cost a lot overall because I didn't have money to buy a lot of things. I would live off of, let's say, about $10 per week for food. And overall, I would not buy anything that would be more expensive than 4 weeks of food, so that was really not a risk I was willing to take. So in the end, I just ended up having, for instance, a lot of free samples, and I would sign up for these sample services. I don't know if you know what I mean, but there are these services where you can essentially buy samples, and it's or you can order free sample, and it's really, really easy to get in, and then they send you these every once in a while, and so you never have to buy shampoo again. And during that phase, I also had a really, really hard time letting go of my belongings, as in my, I don't know, just folders or lecture notes and that kind of thing. I just had a hard time letting go of that because I don't know, I just felt this fundamental fear of losing money or losing an opportunity or something, which I didn't have before in my extreme minimalist years. And so, and also my mother dumped a bunch of stuff on me and was like, hey, I'm moving into a smaller apartment. I still got some shit from you. And I was like, fuck no, okay. And then all of a sudden I had a closet, this closet. And trust me, guys, I was not happy about this closet. I was like, can you not keep the closet for a little while? And then the sad closet, it looked at me like, dude, do you really not want me? I was your childhood closet. And I'm like, okay, closet, I'm gonna take you. I like you. I just don't feel like I'm a closet person yet. I'm not 40. Why would I want a closet? I was like, a closet was for me a concept for old people. Like, I would hang my clothes on a rack. Why would I want a closet? By the way, all this rack hanging shit is really annoying in the long term. It actually collects a lot of dust. So if you're thinking about getting rid of your closet and getting a rack instead, don't do it. Is there a book you've read that was life changing? Yeah, The Unbearable Lightness of Being. Or one that has helped you become a better person. Yeah, the what is it? Integrated brain method. Uh, the whole brain child. Um, hey, good evening. The Whole Brain Child is definitely one of the books that has changed my approach to problem solving. I bought that book, for parenting purposes. I wanted to have a book that actually helps me make things make sense to my kid. As in, I really wanted her to be able to employ her whole brain to solve problems and be happy, because I think the most important thing about parenting is that you give your child competence, as in competence in mastering difficult situations in life, because basically every third situation in your life is difficult in some aspect. You go through life, and you know the latest point it's possible is when you enter school, but that is when you hit concrete, the concrete of reality, and it just starts to be more difficult than when you were a protected toddler and nobody wanted anything from you. And I just want my kid to be able to deal with all this shit and still, maintain integrity, maintain a good mental health, and not be dragged down like I was when I was a kid. I was very depressed for a long time, and I was depressed as a kid. And I just don't want that for my kid. I want her to be really happy and to not experience anxiety and panic and depression, because I think that's not productive, that's useless, and it's not necessary. Like in certain parts of society, that kind of broken shit is appreciated, and I was certainly part of those parts. Like I still feel like I am. It's an intellectual thing to kind of be a little bit self-destructive, smoke and drink and be miserable. That's a thing. It will always be a thing, and it always was a thing, and I'm not ashamed of it. I think that's just a normal part of my life. It will always be part of my soul. But I just don't want it that dark for my own kid as it was for me. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. The Unbearable Lightness of Being, definitely one of the books that made me think a lot about life when I was younger. I'm not sure if it would still have the same effect if I would read it now. And I really like the books of Irvin Yalom. I think he's a really good author. If you're into psychiatry and psychology, and if you maybe even know a little bit about that professionally, it's really interesting to read those books. Just from the perspective of a therapist, it's really interesting to read this. But I also read some of his professional work, so yeah, I kind of mix that up in my head all the time. God, how late is it? Very late. It's like 10:30 in my time zone right now. PM. By the way, what do you think about the light? Should I keep it? I think it's kind of good. way better than the old lighting. The old lighting was just my lamp, and it made me feel very tired and very glossy. Okay, so yeah, after I got some books and I got a closet eventually, I had to move again. I was moving out of my apartment, and that was when I think I moved in with my husband. Yeah, that was the second to last time that I moved. Yeah, and that was pretty annoying because that was when I realized I don't really feel like a minimalist anymore. And I felt a lot of guilt and shame about that, which I think is valid because, I always considered myself a minimalist because that's just like how I feel. It's not at this point, as the conflict at this point would be that in my heart I knew I hate all this stuff and I'm just a minimalist at heart. I really like this lifestyle. That's just my ideal lifestyle. But at the end of my studies, I was at the point that I just had a lot of things that I couldn't let go of through my phase of being super frugal and afraid to miss out, afraid of losing money or something or not be well off. Um, and at that point, I just realized, I feel like a total fraud or something like that. And yeah, to me, that was kind of fuel to do another big purge. And I just got rid of a whole lot of stuff that I also accumulated over, I don't know, maybe 5 years, 10 years, depending, you know. Um, and then at some point, I moved in with my husband, and that is when I started making YouTube videos, which is a long time ago. And I stopped in between, had a kid, and then started again, and that's what you're seeing now. But essentially, um, I, that was the first time that I saw minimalism videos on the internet. I was not using YouTube before. I have no idea how I got into yeah, I remember. This is how I got into YouTube. I actually made funny videos on Facebook and I shared these videos with my friends on Facebook and got lots of likes because I was just like vlogging in the train station. We were like, hey, it's my way to work, and I'm sharing my thoughts, and it was all, yeah, just very theoretical, just rambling. And then people gave me really positive feedback and say like, hey, this is funny. And I was like, well, then it's not on purpose because I'm not funny, but cool. And then I thought, well, every dumb idiot can do YouTube, so I feel like a dumb idiot. Let's do YouTube. And then basically I just started a YouTube channel. And that was like the first experiment. It was a bit stupid, but I don't know. And I never used YouTube before that. I only started using it when I had a YouTube channel. And then I just didn't have the time anymore. I had to work a lot. Um, and I stopped. And yeah, then after a while, I saw actually an acquaintance also had a YouTube channel. That's the one who ghosted me. They had a YouTube channel after me and kind of followed me for a long time. And I was seeing that they also started a new channel. And I thought like, wow, that's an English channel. I never thought about doing that. I always just did German videos. And then they said, I have a broader audience here. It's way better. And I thought, okay, maybe I should do that, because I stopped and essentially I had so many people who started with me at the same time doing videos that were also about minimalism, sustainability, that kind of stuff. It was just starting to be a hype back then. And so a lot of these people got really successful, and I was thinking like, well, I had a kid, I didn't have time for that. and I probably missed that ship. It sailed, so I wasn't really thinking much about it. But then I saw this other channel also being, yeah, thriving, being good, and I thought, well, maybe I could do that too, and it was kind of encouraging me, and so yeah, that's why I started again. Starting a new YouTube channel, and essentially, that's where we're now. And my plan with this channel is actually to, yeah, publish more videos. I also have a bunch of videos that are more cinematic, like videos I made in Sweden, and I try to do a better editing job with the hiking videos, because I lately watched a bunch of my older videos and I was thinking like, oh, I thought these were so amazing and they really weren't. But I don't know. A lot of my videos are also just for me. Like the hiking videos, they're for me and my kid, because she really loves watching those hiking videos, and that is just something, when I'm dead, they're still there. I mean, maybe not on YouTube, but they're still there, and there's something positive to remember, something that I'm really happy I did. Not the videos, the hikes, and the videos are a document. Yeah, showing that. So, yeah, that is something I just purely do for myself, or let's say 90%. And so I really want this channel to be more in line with what I like in other video creators, because I think it's important to take inspiration from others, and to be like, oh, I'm not better than others. I'm inspired by others. I want to be as good as this. I don't want to be a copy of this, but I want to be as good as this. And therefore I have to learn, and to, I like to be humbled when I see other creators make awesome stuff, and I'm like, wow, I can never do that. And I used to think that about a lot of things, but then just a few years later, I was able to do the same thing. I was not interested in programming 10 years ago. Now I know, I think, 5 or 6 different languages. Um, and I used to think that I could never code anything C related. Well, I can. So it's all just, you have to will yourself from here to there, and then you get there. Like, if it's just brain stuff and nothing physical, it's really easy to accomplish it with hard work, in my opinion. Like 80 to 90% of things are just the consequence of hard work and endurance. Yeah, that, and watching truthless videos, I guess. One of my favorite YouTubers. So yeah, anyway, that was my story. That was how I got from extreme minimalism to minimalism. Do I think it's sustainable? No. Do I wish it was? Yes. Do I think that every other YouTuber that does extreme minimalism videos will at the end give it up? Yep, 100%. I think that most of them will give it up. Unless you come to it late in life and then you just die or something. I think at some point the human has a need for ups and downs. We just need that change. And if you, there's also the question, like, why would it be so important to sustain an extreme level? Why would that even be important? For sustainability reasons, I would see that, but then in the end it matters more if you inspire others. And then you could argue, well, you can inspire others more if you're more extreme, but because it always gets more views and it gets more attention, and that is inherently positive. So I think that is a good reason. Part of the reason why I would do it as well, because I think it's just more of an inspiration, and I like watching inspirational people. So why wouldn't I want to do something that is maybe inspirational to others, without being like, oh, I'm so awesome. More like, I want to be the person that I want to be. I want to become the person that I like, and just be that person and enjoy that life. I think that's essentially what everybody wants, just to become what you like. And yeah, so that is what I do with my life. I try to be what I like, I try to do what I like, say what I feel good about, um, sustainably, long term. Um, Sounds simple, right? But wait until you are around other parents. They suck ass. Um, Not all of them. Today I actually met a really nice other parent. So yeah, and now where am I at with my minimalism right now? Well, I have this room where I live in. I will do a room tour at some point, but I always feel like it's kind of redundant because in all of my videos there are parts of my apartment or our apartment already. There are a lot of snippets, of how it looks here, so I feel it's kind of useless to do a room tour, but then people love room tours. So, and also I have to clean up before I do that, and I'm not the tidiest person. Also, a reason why I got into this. I'm really not good at being tidy. I'm more of an, yeah, ADHD mess. And if I didn't have minimalism, if I had more stuff, I would be lost. I would just be a hoarder. And I don't know. I think a lot of people who, you know, convert to minimalism, they had this kind of issue before. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of ADHD folks were into minimalism because it's actually very helpful with that. Could also be a topic for another video. I don't know. Um, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end the live stream now because it's late. I want to sleep. I'm really sad that I couldn't upload my other video, but I'm gonna try again another time. Um, Maybe it's going to work. I've heard that there is a monitoring for the live stream, so if you upload something that is partially copyrighted or something like that, because that you have the right to cite video material. It's a fundamental right, but you have to do your own content on top of it and explain stuff. So my test upload didn't resemble that. Therefore, I actually would have to test it in a real live stream. So yeah, let's see if I can do that for next time. Thank you. And thank you for joining the live stream. I'm happy that so many people showed up. Maybe this time zone or this time slot that I chose is better. That's why I got the lighting, because I thought, you guys, maybe this is just the better time zone for everyone. It's late at night for the Europeans, and it's afternoon for the American time zone. But also, I really plan on doing some podcasts. I want to do a podcast with a bunch of people. I already messaged them and gonna. Shit! I just heard some weird noise. Sounded like a train or something. Anyway, I want to invite a bunch of people to my podcast and actually film a few more episodes because, yeah, the podcast is really cool. I actually really like doing that. Just the editing is a pain in the ass. It's just so much editing, and my computer is slow. So if you want to support that, if you want me to make more podcasts, maybe consider buying me a coffee. Or checking out the channel memberships. Like, if you want to, like, they start from like €1, which is about $1. So if you're interested in buying me coffee, you can cancel that at any time. It's like literally $1. So yeah, that helps me out a lot. And I also, if you are a channel member, then you can get the butt emojis. Where are my butt emojis? Here's my butt emoji. Yeah. Let's put them in the chat. Here, you can see the butt emojis in the chat. Aren't they cool? And this is my capsule wardrobe emoji. Unheard of. It's like never before in the history of YouTube has there been a capsule wardrobe emoji. So yeah, that is that. And I'm gonna end the live stream now. And want to thank you all for watching and showing up. And so there's a whole playlist of live streams. You can rewatch them later and also watch my other videos or the videos I've linked in my descriptions to other fellow creators. Yeah, thank you for being here. Have a nice evening, or I hope it's not the morning for you guys. I really do. Let me know how you think the lighting was, and if you watched until here, post a nighttime object in the comments section, like the night sky emoji. Like if you made it until here, post the night sky emoji in the description, in the comments, please, so I know that you're crazy.